to gulags. I and 80% of my peers, if we were in the Soviet military at that time, would have been executed by the NKVD at that time. And then after World War II, you had the gulags up until Khrushchev abolished most of them, I think around 54. Now, when you add all that together, most of the badness emanating from the West, it's about 40 million people dead, plus or minus 5 million, because nobody knows what the statistic is. And in every single Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian family had somebody killed in the war, or killed in a repression, or starved to death, or the revolution. And it's almost as if, in regard to the West and how they treat us, is almost a colossal PTSD, sort of a residual. And we thought they were moving out of it in the 1990s. It didn't work, and now these themes are back in the Russian press. And I've already talked about how their borders have radically changed, and why I think that we have to try to understand the Russians better. I don't purport to do so. I try. To close again, my 2 years in Moscow, again, my wife Stephanie's there. She was a great senior military spouse representing your military in Russia. It was the most maddening, frustrating, but fascinating 2 years of my military career, of my 34-plus military career. And I'd been to Afghanistan, a whole bunch of places. But this was, there were a lot of hard times. It was a lot of unpleasantry, but it was an absolutely amazing experience. It was a great honor to represent you there and your sons and daughters, our allies. And we had great relations with our allies. And we actually had, for the first 18 months, pretty good relations with the Russians. And I thought that the Russian military, which was my job to work with the Russian military and try to facilitate, if you will, peaceful engagement with our primary military and defense leaders with the Russians, to kind of develop a better relation, interoperability, understanding, and most of all, trust. Because there is a trust deficit right now between the Russian Federation and the United States of America that is mind-boggling. And we have to find a way to box our way out of this. We want Russia to evolve, to find a way out of what I believe is an increasingly dark period that could turn very, very badly, very, very fast. We don't want it to collapse in really, really bad ways, because horrible mutations will come out of that. And we just have to be focused. We have to work at, we have to be patient. We have to support our allies and stand up for our principles. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.